Good morning. Yes, I have my glasses on again. These actually used to be my mom's and they have bifocals in them, but the top part worked perfect. So anyway, today is Monday, story time, and you guys voted on the Remarkably Strong Pippi Longstockings, which happens to be my nickname, Pippi, because of this character. All right, it says, it's retold by Cecily Hogan. Because they're based on the stories by Astrid Lindgren. And the illustrator in this book is Don Turner / Jason Studio. All right, I'll read the words and then I will show you the pictures. Just so you know, this book came out a year before I was born in 1974. All right, here we go. Out at the very edge of a little town in Sweden lived a brother and a sister named Tommy and Annika. Often they played in their garden and they looked over the big empty house next door. The name of the house was Villa Kula, and more than anything, Tommy and Annika wished that an exciting playmate would come and live there. Then one day, it happened. Look, Annika exclaimed. There's a horse on the porch at the Villa Kula. At that same moment, their new neighbor came up the walk. She had moved in all by herself. As Tommy and Annika watched, she picked up the horse and set him down on the ground. Nobody could be that strong, Tommy gasped. But when Tommy and Annika ran over to Villa Kula, they learned that Pippi Longstockings was that strong. She was also the most unusual girl next door they had ever seen. She had carrot-colored braids that stuck straight out from her head. Her nose looked like a small potato sprinkled with freckles, and her mouth was very wide indeed. Her legs were covered by long stockings. One was green and the other orange, and she wore floppy gray shoes that seemed twice as large as her feet. On her shoulder sat a little monkey all dressed up in his Sunday best. My monkey's name is Sir Nielsen, Pippi explained proudly. Then she introduced Tommy and Annika to the horse, who would also be living in Villa Kula with her. But Pippi, haven't you a mama or a papa? Asked Tommy, his eyes wide. Yes, I have parents, Pippi told him. They're just not here. My papa is a cannibal king in the South Sea Island, and my mama's up in heaven. But who tells you when it's time to go to bed? Annika asked. I tell myself, Pippi explained. First I say quite nicely, Pippi, go to sleep now. And then I don't obey me. And I tell me much more sternly, Pippi, you go to bed now. And if I still don't listen, I give myself a spanking. When people in town heard about Pippi, they decided she must go live in a children's home. Oh, surely, they said, such a young girl needs someone to tell her what to do. And Tommy and Annika, of course, didn't want Pippi to leave Villa Kula. They finally had an exciting friend that they had waited for so long for. Besides, Pippi could take care of herself quite nicely. Pippi wasn't the neatest cook, in the world, but her pancakes, and her cream cakes were the best that Tommy and Annika had ever eaten. On baking days, Pippi would toss eggs up to the air and try to catch them in the bowl. If an egg happened to land on her head, Pippi would just smile and say, "Raw eggs are good for the hair, and that's what I've heard," she'd say, and they would all giggle as the egg yolks dribbled down her face. Looks like she makes cooking fun. People worried that Pippi might not have enough money to buy clothing and food, but Pippi's papa had left her a suitcase filled with gold, and Pippi always had plenty of money for important things, like a blanket for her horse, new clothes for Sir Nielsen, and candy for every child in town. Shopping days were very special whenever Pippi came to town. Still, the townspeople felt Pippi should go to the children's home. "Surely," they said, "a little girl can't protect herself." So there she is buying candy for all the kids in town, and the adults are saying, "Oh, she can't protect herself." But Tommy and Annika knew better. Pippi was strong. Why, one of those days she even saved a little boy who was being chased by 6 big bullies. "Shame on you! 6 against 1, yelled Pippi, and she picked up the biggest of the bullies and tossed him into the branches of a nearby tree. Then one night, Pippi really showed everybody just how well she could take care of herself. It happened in this way. 2 wicked burglars slipped into the Villa Kula to steal the suitcase of gold they had seen Pippi carry. "It'll be easy to steal from a little girl who's sleeping," they said. There she is, taking care of the bullies. And then there's the 2 wicked burglars who think they can steal from her. You think that the burglars are going to be able to steal from her? We'll have to see. But Pippi woke up. And before the burglars even knew what was happening, she grabbed the first one and then the other and lifted them both to the top of a very high cabinet. "There," she exclaimed, "that'll teach you to steal other people's suitcases." Whoa, she's strong. "Oh, forgive us, dear little miss," one of the burglars said, shaking with fear. "We haven't eaten for such a long time. That's why we needed some money." And then they both started to cry. Pippi hated to see anyone cry. "Well, I'll forgive you this one time," she said grandly, and she gently set them back down on the floor. Then off she went to change her clothes and get some cream cake for the burglars. But the burglars were wicked indeed. As soon as Pippi left the room, they snatched up the suitcase full of gold and started once more for the door. Pippi had returned just in time. What do you think's gonna happen? I think it's very nice that she changed her mind and was getting them food, but we'll see what happens. "Halt!" she cried with her strong right arm. She pitched the cream cake smack dab into the biggest burglar's surprised face. Then she snatched the suitcase out of his hand and sent both burglars flying from the house. And nothing could have persuaded them ever to come back to the Villa Kula. Oh, she was bringing them a pie, but she ended up putting it in their face and kicking them out the door. And when the townspeople had heard about what Pippi and the burglars, what happened with Pippi and the burglars, They never again said she would have to leave the Villa Villacula. And that, of course, made Tommy and Annika very, very happy. With a wonderful girl next door like Pippi, something exciting happened every single day. Oh my gosh, they're in a hot air balloon. And as you can see, that is the end of this book. But I hope you enjoyed the remarkably strong Pippi Longstockings. Can you believe books used to cost 49 cents? Wow. Anyway, I hope you liked Monday's story time. Go to the template and choose which book you'd like to hear next Monday. Bye-bye.